So the last time I tried to make one of these, it was, I'm not sure if it was for on a river, but I've had quite a few comments saying that it wasn't working, asking if I could make an up-to-date version, talking about heaters in the winter, like in the snow area. I thought I would just make this video to try and give a better update. I'm only going to be building a small base just so I can give you the idea on how to actually connect everything. This isn't going to be an actual full berry base, it's just going to be how to connect and make sure your water purifiers are working and everything else like that. So we'll just start off with this 2x2. Now, before we actually get into the video, I thought I would just say that there is a glitch on this server that I'm building the base on where it doesn't look like the water purifier is working. It is, it acts funny on this server. So it'll say that there's salt water in both sides of the water purifier. There isn't. The blue side is pure water. And I'll show you further through the video that it does work, just this server's a bit bugged. So once you get your tool cover down, stuff like that, you will need, hold on, you will need 3 large planter boxes. Obviously this isn't the base, just if you look you can clip them. If you keep moving around you should be able to clip. And what I mean by that is when you put them down they should like lock into the square, that's when you put it down. From here you'll need 1 fluid pump switch. You can use, well you would need a fluid combiner, but at this point I forget to craft it. You need 1 battery, preferably a medium or a large, 1 light, 1 purifier, and 2 pumps. But I will craft another one as it goes on, and 5 electrical branches. For this size base, you will need more the bigger you build it. You will need a sprinkler and a light as well. Also, you can use a switch, but it isn't needed. Now put your pump down anywhere. As you can see, this doesn't fit in the base, but this isn't like an actual base, so you can just put this down anywhere. You cannot place it in water. So if you look, you can place it on land, but we're just going to place it on the roof for now. Now I'm struggling to find another water pump. Now you do need to find water deep enough, but isn't too deep, and then place these 2. Now it's time that I realize you need the combiner, so I will go back and grab one. Obviously the more water pumps you have, the more combiners you will need, but you could also use extra water purifiers too, depending on the size of the berries. Now you just connect these to the combiner. I don't believe it matters which one in the water combiner you place it in, but I just place it in the first and second either way. Now connect this to the water pump / switch. And I believe you need one of these because if the water goes uphill, like upwards, I believe it stops it like going through to the purifier. I'm not 100% on that. That's just rumors I've heard. I've never tried it any other way. So it's best to just have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Now get your sprinkler. And if you look, there's a bubble. This is where the water will spray. Make sure it's hitting all planters. And connect that. If you do want to add more later on, use the pass-through. Connect, I think it may be 6 sprinklers, might be less, maybe more, roughly 6 I think. And then place your battery down. Now I think you can use solar panels, but you will have to use quite a few, because I believe the water pumps are 4 to 5 power each. The water purifier is also 5 power, and you've got the light and the switch / pump. We're just using a windmill for this video. So what you want to do is build up. We're not building the whole way, but I will just skip this part. So once you've built up to your height, get a windmill. As you can see, we only get 37 power. That's all we're going to need. If you build a bigger berry base, build up a bit higher. Now come down, connect this to your battery. And you'll see that I think that's the capacity starts going up. Once you connect this to other things, you'll see that the time usage starts going up or down depending if you've got enough power, but it'll give you a time on how long it'll run without the windmill. So if it ever does get destroyed, the power won't cut off straight away. It'll be till the battery dies or gets destroyed. Now connect this to your power branch. And also use the power out, not the branch out, because the branch out is how much power you're branching out to each item. The power out is what you want to connect it to next, if you understand what I mean. So always use the branch out to go to the item you want to power, and use the power out to the next electrical branch. Now you will power the water pumps. I wasn't 100% sure on how much power it would take, so if you're not sure, it is 4, but if you're building this and you're not sure, just mess around with the power till you hear them turn on. Just keep changing the number, and eventually it'll turn on and you'll know you've got enough power. But if you're watching the video in the time of making it, it is 4 I believe, and it's 5 for the purifier. But we'll just cut this part out because it's me figuring out the power and wiring everything up. So earlier when I said that this server was bugging, as you've seen there, it said salt water in the part that was meant to be purified. But if I disconnect it, and then look, the water is now purified. I believe the server is just bugged. So be careful what servers you test it on. If I am wrong and this isn't a bugged server, let us know in the comments and I will try make a fix for it. But I do test this with a water bucket and check again after, and it is back to working normally. So I believe it's just a bug on this server. Also, you can, as you've seen, there was a water purifier there with a fire pit. You can use them, but they are very slow and you lose a lot of water. So if you can wait and build it with the Prata pumps and the Prata purifiers. And this is me just testing because I thought I was losing my mind. But as you see, the little icon next to the bucket, it is purified water, so it does work. I'm 99% sure it was just a bug. And you should get salt water from this side because this is the side that the water's pumping into. As you can tell, my neighbour is going crazy with the C4. But if you turn this off, that will stop the water pumping into the water purifier and eventually the water will cut off. So if you are going off for the night and you don't want people to know, and say you have the water pumps inside your berry base, just turn them off and eventually the water will cut off. Also, people are asking about heaters in the snow. Yes, you will need them. If you look at the plant when it's planted, it will tell you that the heat is needed and it is uncomfortable.